awarded PhD from Bangalore University. Earlier, he worked as a lecturer in Hyderabad Central University. The speaker area of interest is parallel processing, e-governance, bioinformatics, cyber law. Speaker has published over 30 research papers, articles in various international journals. His area interest is in law also. Presently, he is pursuing Doctor of Law from National Law School of India, University, Bangalore. Thank you, sir. Now over to Muralidhar, sir.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. And initially, I wanted to speak in Kannada, my native tongue. But I think I was told that there are some people who are out from outside Karnataka. So I'm just restricting myself to the language English only. Thank you very much for the kind invitation. I think when I received the call from the Vice Principal of National College, Chinagar, I was too willing to be part of this initiative. And I do know that there are many umpteen number of workshops and webinars which are happening all around the places. But I was surprised to look at the people who have joined this webinar, and it is really a very good initiative. And we also know that National College has been doing very well. And being an alumni of National College Basungudi, I think it is my immense pleasure to be back in National College Jainagar to be sharing my experiences with ICT. And I'll be restricting my scope of discussion to basically the education system. And here and there, I'll flip to some other topics as well with respect to ICT itself. What I do is that today I'll speak on usage of ICT in education. How ICT has transformed the present day education system. So that's the whole idea of my topic today. And we'll be questioning whether we have achieved whatever we were intended to achieve when we looked at ICT and education. Now, I've taken this picture with a lot of intention. Now, what ICT is supposed to do is that ICT should transform people from this blank slate or blackboard to maybe a laptop or a desktop or a mobile phone. So that's the transformation we are expecting from this ICT initiative. People should move from this blackboard or the slate to a mobile phone. But unfortunately, if you look at this, not everybody has moved or gotten into the mobile phone, right? Only few of them have gotten into this mobile phone, right? And those few are in this picture are the ones who are powerful, right? You can see them as bright people. But the other half, maybe this is more than half, are still with the slate or with the blackboard, struggling to get into this mobile phone. So that's the question which we are trying to ask in this session. Probably towards the end of the session, we should be able to find a few answers, or we should be able to get some answers out of this. Now, when you look at the ICT, I think Government of India, Government of Karnataka, and many other institutes have taken a very good initiative to actually promote the ICT in education. It's not that they're promoting during the COVID time. It's that the Government of India is been promoting ICT from the past more than 15 years. Swayam is one such initiative. And if you look at, if you just log on to swayam.gov.in, you find out the number of courses which are on offer from Swayam. More than 500 plus courses which are open for enrollment. The Bangalore University as an organization is also associated with Swayam, and we have been enrolling all our students to this Swayam. And our students are the biggest beneficiaries of this Swayam open courses. Because they also give certificate, and Swayam courses are very, very rigorous. It's actually add-on to their courses. Now, suppose if I want to learn few things about big data, I can get into big data courses. They have a scheduled time, and then you can enroll yourself, and then you can undergo those courses, and then you can get the certificate at the end of the course. And the instructors in Swayam are best in the business. So they're the best people who come and then who actually give the course. And they also give weekly assignments. And I do know that many of the teachers are also enrolling themselves to this Swayam courses. I also enrolled to Swayam courses to learn the latest technologies. So they give weekly assignments, their proctored exams, and very safe exams. And you can also, in the future, you can also transfer the credits from the Swayam courses to the degree courses, or from degree courses to Swayam courses, so on and so forth. So the credit transfer is also enabled. So it is possible for us to transfer the credits. And there are active local chapters which are very active, and Bangalore is one such local chapter. And in this case, it's not one organization which is doing this. There are many organizations which have collectively come together, like AICT, like UGC, like NPTEL, NRCTE, and then IIMB, IGNO. They all have come together, and then they've designed this course. So you can actually enroll to any of these courses, and I can tell you that these are one of the best courses which are on offer from Government of India. Now, if you look at the present day scenario, there are empty number of applications which are available in the market for any of the online classes. So some of the tools which are available are Zoom, Google Meet, Cisco WebEx, Microsoft Team, Join In, GoToMeeting, and so on and so forth. You can use any of these tools, and then you can actually conduct your online classes. So that's what we are all doing during the COVID period. And you can see here also that an organization like National College is conducting a workshop online using the Zoom tool. And believe me, Bangalore University is conducting a conference using these online tools. We have come to that stage. We are taking classes. We are also actually organizing workshops, seminars, and then we can also conduct international conferences and national conferences and so on and so forth. So this actually gives us a lot of muscle power to actually uplift our students from the present stage to the next stage. So ICT has actually really done well. Now, this is a very good article which has come up very recently, 15, 20 days ago in the Indian Express, where a chemistry teacher from Pune is trying her best to actually give a good class to her students. So you can see here, she has purchased a green board, and then she has used her hanger, she has used a dupatta, she has used a hanger and dupatta to actually keep her mobile phone intact, and then she is actually delivering her online classes through this mode. Now, I think teachers are the ones who are actually doing a very good job when it comes to online teaching. So that's why it says, when there is a will, there is a way, and now we are giving our 100%. We are doing everything to help our students to get into education. So that's what, as teachers, we are doing. And then there are empty number of apps which are available. You can actually scan your assignments and then upload the assignments to a portal, or you can email to your teacher, or you can WhatsApp to your teacher. Now, those things are also possible. Now, whenever a teacher is giving their assignments and students write their assignments, and then they scan their assignments, they upload it to a portal, or they send an email to their teacher or WhatsApp to their teacher. So that's possible. And if you look at some of the tools which are available in Android, you know, you can actually transform your handwriting to a text using a tool called OCR, Optical Character Recognizer. Now, what you can do is that whenever you have your handwriting, and then if you feel that your teacher does not want to read this handwriting, and then you want to convert it to digital text, you can use these OCRs, and then you can convert your actual handwritten material to a digital platform or a digital text. So that's what most of students do. I took yesterday's newspaper. This is yesterday's Hindu newspaper, where it says center limits the duration of online school session. So center government has taken this initiative, and it has reduced the number of hours for online sessions. Now you take this newspaper and then take a photograph of this newspaper, and then use your cam scan. Of course, the government of India has banned this cam scan, but you can use any other scanning tools like cam scan, and then you can actually convert your image into an actual text, which says center limits duration of online school sessions. And I think it did not understand this RNOR, but let's not worry about this. But it actually has converted the entire image into a text image, or into a text. So that is possible through this tools, which are powerful tools, which are available online. So this has actually transformed our education. But what is the problem with all these things? If you look at the nightmares, I think teachers are facing a lot of problems. 5 days ago, there was an article in the in deep print. Kritika Sharma has written this article. She has interviewed many of the teachers who are taking online classes, and it is very, very heartening to know that the teachers are actually trying their best to actually transform their classrooms into online sessions. But teachers are being bullied. Now, every now and then, people who are not officially enrolled to their classes, they get into the class, and then they start bullying the teacher. They take names. And I think one of the teachers has said in this article that it is actually diminishing or demoralizing to teach in an online platform. Teachers' privacy and personal data are also being disclosed. Students often also make fake IDs. And suppose if I know the meeting ID of this session, I just need to know the meeting ID and the password, and then you use this meeting ID and password. Anybody can enter into this classroom, and then they can create havoc in this classroom. So teachers are being harassed a lot in the online classes. The privacy and the proprietary related issues constitute a major concern among tutors. And you should know that the tutors actually going 1 mile or miles ahead to actually enroll everybody. And some of them don't have smartphones, some of them are not in WhatsApp. Teachers are calling students, and then they're trying to clarify their doubts by calling them, and then trying to do many such things. But teachers are being harassed in this whole thing. Challenges is reaching students who belong to economically weaker section. That has been a very, very challenging task, because there are many people who do not have smartphones. There are many people in this world, in this country, who do not have laptops. But interestingly enough, in many of the households, or in some of the households, there are 3 children to go to a school, but they have only 1 smartphone of their parents. Now, how do we actually admit all these 3 students, and then how do we teach these students using this online mechanism? That has been an issue. And sometimes we also know that students go online, and then they switch off their mute their audio, and then they mute their video, and then they go to sleep. And that's been a biggest problem. I was told that the LKG students and then UKG students, first standard students, they're all in this online classes. And now what are they trying to do? It's become very difficult for teachers actually without the help of the parents. It's become a difficult task for teachers to actually take classes through this online mechanism. Now, this is a mail which I get on 1/7/2020. This is from my daughter's school. She studied. Hello, yeah.
Sir, I think, are you sharing the screen, sir?
Sorry.
Are you sharing the screen?
Yes,
Because
I'm
it's
sharing.
visible. Could you retry it, sir? We couldn't see the screen.
No, it is not streaming, sir.
It's not. You're not seeing any screen.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we are not seeing any screen, sir. Can you reshare it?
Right. I think I'll just reshare. But oh, you could have texted me earlier.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
I dropped a message on your chat.
No, I don't. Now is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
yes,
you
sir.
can see, sir.
It's visible.
I'm very sorry about that. I was, because I had shared my screen, and I think I was thinking that I'll go back to a few slides and then quickly I come back. This is what I was talking. This is the image which I was interested in saying, that there are many people, the powerful people are actually on board, and then they're in their mobile systems, but many are actually backward, who are unable to join this mobile phone. They're still in this chalkboard or slate or whatever you want to call. And this is what I was trying to tell. Swayam, you have best instructors, weekly assignments, and exams are conducted, and then credits can be transferred. And then these are some of the tools which you can use for online classes like Zoom, Google Meet, WebEx, and GoToMeeting, and Microsoft Teams, Join In, and so on and so forth. And this is the article which appeared in the Indian Express. And this is what I want to say. A teacher, a chemistry teacher from Pune, trying her best in using her hanger, cloth hanger, and using her dupatta to actually fix the phone, purchasing a green board, and then airing her classes using any of these methods. But students are being a little naughty here. Now, you can actually scan your assignments using any of these scanning tools, and then you can run your OCRs, and then actually you can convert your image into text. And this is the yesterday's newspaper which I took it, the Hindu newspaper. I used the cam scan, and then I converted this image into a text image. So anybody who wants to use such tools can use it, and then you can share, and then you can upload your assignment. You can also do it with your handwriting also. Now, classes are nightmare for many of the teachers. This is what has appeared in the print newspaper some 4 or 5 days ago. Teachers are facing online bullying. Some students are using their fake ID. And I was telling that students are actually harassing the teachers. And this is the mail which I get from my daughter's school some 4 days ago. And I would like to read out only certain part of this mail. The mail says taking snapshots of teachers while taking classes and uploading it in the social media is not allowed. What students are doing, my daughter is in her 10th standard, and many of the students of her age, what they're trying to do is that they're taking photos of teachers, and then they're uploading it into social media. And then taking video of the teacher when the classrooms are going and uploading it into Instagram. So that's what also they're doing. And then I don't know how many of you are doing this now, but then they also click pictures of teachers, and then they put it as their status, and photographing teachers and editing and circulating among friends. That they're doing. And then interestingly, in the last session also this happened when I was in the other session. Somebody mutes me also when I'm talking, and somebody mutes the other student. So that's what you can also do. So what the principal is saying that you are not supposed to mute the teacher, and most probably in our age, uh, most of the students are actually muting the teacher itself. Not they are not muting the other students. They are muting the teachers, and they also try to mute the other students as well. And then they present their own screen to when the classes are on, and then constantly letting the camera on and off. That's what they try to do. They play the music, and finally some family members log in their name for the sake of attendance. So these are some of these things which students are doing. And then this is the mail all of the parents got from our school that your award is not supposed to do any such things. So that's what they do. This somebody uploaded it in the morning Facebook today. It's uploaded some 11 hours ago. Maybe probably I think last night they have uploaded. This is the fate of private college teachers, and I feel very sad about them. I think government college teachers are mostly spared, but private college teachers are not spared in this game. You know, this is a teacher who's a 56, 57 years, 55 years old teacher who goes and then buys this whiteboard. He doesn't have whiteboard, and then learns how to use Zoom from her daughter and from his daughter, and then he asks his daughter to videograph it or use the Zoom application for airing his class. And then when he is actually doing, some student come and then start scolding him. And then after some time, he gets really depressed and then start crying. It's really demeaning that some of these things are also happening in online classes. I'm taking few cases, though I'm not mentioning all the cases. Slightly, I'm just deviating from the present topic, but just to tell you what is happening around this world when it comes to a digital world, when it comes to online world. My mother had a servant maid. Then we don't know her age. Probably I think she's 65, 66 years old, or roughly around 60 years old. Why we can't guess, we don't know her age is because she doesn't know her date of birth. She's a migrant worker. She migrated herself from Kanakpura some 25 years ago. 25 years ago, she migrated to Bangalore. She's living in Bangalore for the past 25 years. And she's an illiterate. She's an illiterate. She says she has gone to the first standard and second standard, somewhere she has left. And her mother tongue is Kannada. But unfortunately, she can neither read nor write Kannada. She's living in Bangalore for the past 25 years, but she can neither read or write Kannada language itself. And now she wanted to apply for a site, and the government of Karnataka announced that they will disperse 1 lakh sites or 1 lakh houses, not sites, 1 lakh houses to people who are living in slums and then who are marginalized. And then government will actually freely distribute to all these marginalized people. And then she wanted to apply for that. She came and then she asked me for my help because she neither knows Kannada nor knows English. So she asked for my help. So I logged into the website. Interestingly enough, everything is in English. Now, what is that you are supposed to do? You are actually expecting a maid who doesn't know the language, doesn't know how to read or write Kannada itself. You expect her to fill this form using English, and that to learning English and then learning some things about the technology, and then you are expecting her to fill this. And then it has series of such things. An application number, it automatically generates. This is an acknowledgement. I've removed certain things just for her privacy's sake. And then she gives her preferences, and she tells me what are her preferences, and then I enter those preferences, and then she gives her mobile phone number, email, and so on and so forth. And then they ask for certain things, and then I enter everything. And I also had to certify that She stays in Bangalore for the past 5 years because she was working in my mother's house for the past more than 10 years. And then I gave that certificate and saying that she's been in Bangalore for the past more than 5 years. Now, after filling this application form, she one day came and then she gives her mobile phone. And then she says that, ನೋಡಿ ಅಣ್ಣ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಓದ್ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. The message is from Government of Karnataka saying that she has been allotted a site and then she has to use some password, and that entire message is in English. She doesn't know how to read Kannada, and then the Government of Karnataka expect her to read English and then go and access the system. Right, this has happened some 2018, the previous government. And then I just clicked use those passwords which had come to her mobile phone, and then there was OTP which came to her mobile phone. I used that, and then I gave the IK Patra, the selection letter, whatever you want to call, our allotment letter. So I gave her allotment letter, and then again after some time an SMS came in English saying that we will let you know how much you need to pay after some time. But the whole thing is that I'm not looking at anything which is in a rural area. I'm looking at a person who lives in Bangalore for the last more than 25 years, and she cannot manage this language English, and then she cannot also manage this computer. And her daughter is studying for her past her BSc very recent. Now, when you look at the other thing, I'll look at the latest things. Seva Sindhu. This is a website which I logged in some 2-3 days ago because there was a lot of issue related to the auto drivers. Now, Government of Karnataka announced during the COVID time or post-COVID time that every auto drivers would be given 5,000 rupees as a compensation for their loss of job during the COVID lockdown. Fine. And then I also hear quite a few comments in the newspaper that not many of them are getting that benefit. Many of them are not getting that benefit. But if you look at the website Seva Sindhu, that's where one has to log in. And then it also says that ಅಗಸರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಷೌರಿಕರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬಾರಿ ಪರಿಹಾರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಜಿ. The last date is 25/7/2020. You can still log in and then you can try to see what it says. So it says that basically for barbers and other people, there is a one-time relief for COVID-19. So I clicked on it, and then there's an English thing which appears, which is self-declaration employment certificate. My barber or my washerman should know English to actually feed his data, her data into this. So it's really amazing to see how actually the governments have been very insensitive to the society on the whole. Now you just go further. This is the news which appeared some 15-20 days ago. Scaling new heights to attend online classes. This has happened in Malappuzha, Kerala. A girl, her father is a rich man who has some land, not a rich man, but a well-off man. So she wants to attend online classes. She is in BA, final 5th semester English literature. And then she can't attend classes because her network is not functioning in the village. Network is not there. So what does she do? She goes to her rooftop and then she finds a certain place. Only in that place she gets a network. She tries many networks and then finally she gets one network. And then she sits there and then she listens to her classwork. In what? Sitting on that whatever roof and then trying to get the link or network. And then she has to face the sun. She has to face the rain. But her parents says the rain and sun is not a problem because they can manage the umbrella. But thunder and lightning are the biggest problems here. And because monsoon is set, and even I don't think anybody can go and then stand or sit there in the slippery roof and then risk their life to attend online classes. This has happened on June 1st. and this has appeared on June 2nd. The 10th standards school girl ends her life by putting fire into herself. And then why does she do it? 10th standard girl. It's because she cannot access the online classes. The government of Kerala started their online classes because she missed her first class. She's a bright student, belongs to Dalit community, ends her life because she can't attend class, first class, which was happening on the 1st of June. Why? Because the government of Kerala was airing the class using the telephone, I mean, using the television, but in her house, the television was not working. And her father does not have a smartphone. She is not able to attend the classes. TV is not working. Now, her father is a daily wage worker and who does not have a job for the past 2 months. Then how do you expect him to actually own a smartphone to attend a class? How do you expect him to have a smart television for her daughter to attend classes? So this is the fate that you can't see this in a 10th standard student ending her life just because she can't attend classes. Now, this is the difference which I would like to see, which I can see in the present day scenario. My daughter, who's sitting, she's not my daughter though, and I've just taken a photograph. I think this is a story of my daughter also. She has her own table, she has her own laptop, she has her own room to actually attend online classes, and she's happily attending her online classes. But look at this girl who is from village or from urban, who is socially not socially backward, economically weak, from weaker section. She doesn't even have a light. And then she is actually using her land to sit and write her homework. And this is the scenario. There is a huge difference between people who have and people who do not have. And I don't think online classes are present day or any of the government are addressing this issue. And my worry is about this girl. My worry is not about my daughter. She can manage with online classes or without online classes. She knows how to use YouTube. She knows how to get things at Google and then get things for herself. But my worry is this girl who's from a village who can't do anything. Let's look at this e-government survey. It's a very latest survey, mind you. The survey is actually announced. I keep reading this survey from the past so many years. It's a biannual survey. It is conducted by not Government of India. It's conducted by the United Nations across all the countries. Once in 2 years they conduct it, and it's known for its credibility. It's called E-Government Survey 2020. The title for this 2020 is the Digital Government in the Decade of Action for Sustainable Development. So that was the theme of this survey. 160 odd members participate. That's the membership of the United Nations. And we are also a member of United Nations, and then we also participated in the survey. And look at this online service index. We have very good online service index. Our online service index is 0.8571. And we are ranked 100 among 160 odd members. Well, our ranking is not very great, but we have improved. So we have improved from 2014, somewhere it was around 122 or so. And we have reached a place we can say that our rank is 100. Now, we should be proud that we are ranked 100 among 160, but we are only above 60 members. But on top of us, there are 100 more countries. Our online index is very good, but it becomes very technical, so I would not like to talk about online index. But our telecom infrastructure is pretty poor. The index is 0.35. It's for one mark, it is 35%. For our human capital also, it's pretty bad. It's 0.58, but it has improved from the last year. It's pretty bad. The overall e-governance development index is 0.59. It's 59% for us. So 59% is our grade, and we are on the 100th rank. My worry is about this telecommunication parameter. Let's look at the telecommunication parameters. What is the mobile cellular phone subscription per 100 inhabitants? It's 86%. Mind you, some of us have 3 phones, some of us have 2 SIM cards. So some of us have 4 SIM cards. So some countries have mobile cellular phone subscription is more than 130. Ours is 86, but even then, this is very good number. 86 phone per 100 people, or roughly, even if you take 2 mobile phones this side apart, 60 mobile phones per 100 is a very good number. But how many of us are using this internet? Among 86% of people, only 34% of the people are using internet. That's a very, very low number. Even if they use internet, what are they using for? They're basically using for entertainment, right? Entertainment meaning for games, for phones, and for social media, and for such things. Not everybody is using for their growth. So that's a bad thing here. So 34% of us have internet. How many people have fixed a telephone broadband subscription for 100 inhabitants? 1.34. I have a fixed broadband here. My entire house is a fixed broadband, but that percentage is 1.3%. Out of 100 people, only 1 person in this country have the fixed broadband subscription. And even active mobile broadband subscription is also 37%. So only 37% out of 86 people have this internet connection. So that comes to around 30% in this country have mobile internet. 70% don't have mobile internet. And our adult literacy rate is better, but we know that how we calculate this adult literacy rate. Let's not raise that issue here. Our adult literacy rate is 74%, and our gross enrollment to the school is 72. 72 people gets enrolled, but 28 people don't get enrolled to the school. Expected year of schooling is 12 years, and we know that 12th is 11th and 12th is the expected year. So 12 years is the on an average is expected schooling. But on an average, how many years people spend in school? Only 6.5 years. So at the 6th standard, most of them are getting out of the school. But that's an average. People like me would have studied 12 years, and somebody would have studied 0 years, and then on an average, it comes to 6.5 years. But that's a very bad index. So our overall index in Human Development Index is 0.58, which is reasonably okay. And I look at one of these surveys conducted sometime in May 2017, some 3 years ago in Madhya Pradesh. It says digital India is no country for women. This was conducted by the buyer. Why? Digital India is no country for women. Why is that so? It's because of this reason, right? Reason number one, it was survey conducted in semi-rural Madhya Pradesh, not the entire rural area. It's a semi-rural Madhya Pradesh. And it says only 29% of Indian internet users are women. Only 29% in that survey which came out, only 29% of Indian women use internet. While 43% of Indian men own cell phone, only 28% of the women own cell phone. Majority of the women who own cell phone did not know how to operate the phone. They did not know how to operate the phone. They knew only 2 buttons. One is a green button and the other one is a red button. The green button to actually take the call, red button to stop the call. Only 2 things. So they were unable to read the messages. In many of the areas, this is the case. Most of them did not know their number itself. They did not know their mobile phone number. They used to ask their husband if somebody asked for their mobile phone. And it's very demeaning. And then it was, as I was told, that their cell phone usage was limited only to 2 buttons. One is a green button and then the other one is a red button. And 23% of the girls drop out from the school before they reach puberty. That's a very bad scenario. And then this is another one which happened in Madhura Panchayat, where girls were banned from using their mobile phones outside their house. And what is the penalty if they use it? 2,100 rupees as a penalty. This has happened in Mathura, right? 2,100 rupees as a penalty if you use mobile phones outside your house. So studies show some such things, because women are mostly hired in routine jobs in IT industry. They're not there in the specialized jobs, or they're not there in the managerial position. So what is that we need to learn? This is the conference which the Connaught conference. The Chinese delegate came to India, and then they had also come to Bangalore University. There were around 100 and there were 40 Chinese delegates. This happened some 4 or 5 months ago. 40 delegates visited Bangalore University, and we were supposed to talk to them about the ICT initiatives in the Bangalore, where we can attract Chinese companies to Bangalore. So that was our motivation. And interestingly, most of them did not know English. They did not know English at all. Probably 2 to 3 people knew English, and they were the only people who were interacting with us. And then we were talking about our lectures about Bangalore, and how we can actually attract people to Bangalore. We were also talking about politics of India. We were talking about the economy of India. Three of us, one from political science department, one from economics department, and myself from computer science department. We were talking. We were giving them the lecture. None of them knew English. Let's assume that, let's forget about those 4 people. But how did they understand? We did not know Chinese. So we were talking in English, but there was an automatic translator. So whatever we spoke in English, and then which got translated automatically to Chinese, and then you can see most of them are with headphones, where whatever we are speaking, they are hearing in their native language, native tongue, Chinese. All from the management institutes, from very good universities of China. They did not know English, but they could understand whatever we spoke on that day, basically because there was a unit which was kept there, which could translate whatever we spoke from English to Chinese. And then the same thing was translated to their, transferred to their ears. And they were also asking questions to us. And in which language they asked their questions? They asked in Chinese. And again, the translator converted that, and again, we were made to wear that headphones. And then the question came to us in the language called English to us, though they asked in Chinese. And most of our slides were translated into Chinese language, and then it was given to them some 3 days ago itself, before we spoke. So what is that we need to do now? And this is what the government of Kerala has done it recently. They have their own televisions called Victors. Kerala Institute of Technical Education has started it. And it says that their own survey says that more than 2.6 students do not have facilities for online classes. So what do? They have these channels called Victor's channel, which airs the classes from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at a different slots for different classes. So one television can be used for 3 people. And government of Kerala has also initiated certain things where they're trying to buy 1.2 lakh laptops to be distributed among the students, and for 7,000 projectors, wherein they can put one projector in their village, and all those people who wants to watch maintaining the social distance, they can go there, and then they can watch the TV. And then some 4,545 televisions are also planned for purchase. So government of Kerala is trying to do some such things to actually buy these things and then distribute among their students so that everybody will be able to be on par, right? Now, what about the radio? Why are we not using radio? I mean, I know that government of Karnataka has a very good channel basically for children. So I know that in the villages, the teachers used to switch on the radio, and the classes used to be aired from Bangalore, and then all the students used to sit and listen. So where is that now? We have to go back. We need not actually worry, or we need not think only in terms of these ICT tools like internet, computer, laptops, smartphones, and so on and so forth. But the radio is also, for me, is an ICT tool. This can be used for delivering our classes, and then this can be used by many of us, and then it can be, we can translate our classwork to in many people. My intention, look at the first slide which I showed you in the beginning, where only powerful people are actually getting these facilities of online education. The rich, the upper class, the economically well-off people. But those who are in the village, who do not have the economy, and who do not have the money to purchase the laptops, money to purchase the smartphones, are money to actually put the currency for the internet or for the bandwidth, and they are actually backward. So my interest is about this. Online education should reach them. Otherwise, we are going to see a country which is divided, one among the poor and one among the rich, and that doesn't help this country. If we really imagine as teachers, our intention should be to teach these people. Our intention should be to teach our servant maids. Our intention to teach our barbers how to use the technology and how actually they can use the technology for their own good or for their own benefit. That should be the aim of our all of us. And I hope that all of us will do that. And I thank you all for your patient hearing. And then maybe if you have any questions, you can ask those questions.
Sir, now we shall have a formal photo session.
Yeah.
Then we shall switch over to questions, sir. So I request all the participants to turn on your video feeds
Vote of thanks.
for
Photo session.
And I also request you to rename your profile name so that it would be easy for us to actually identify your name with photograph.
Abhiram, in the process, we can also have this vote of thanks.
Yes, sir, that would be better. I
Maybe
request.
I think if they have any questions, because I think this is an open-ended session, and I think people may have.
Yes, sir, we have that session, sir.
Right.
Yeah,
We have question and answer session.
We have questions also. I think they have been there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now I request our IQAC coordinator, Professor Chinta Vijayalakshmi, to actually deliver vote of thanks to our guest. Chinta Vijayalakshmi, ma'am, over to you. Excuse me, ma'am, you are supposed to.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. First of all, I would like to tell the chief guest that I am very pleased to know that you are an alumni of our college. And the one more thing is you have addressed the pathetic condition of the teachers and as well as the students to overcome the crisis. Thank you very much. And it's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I extend a special thanks to the esteemed chief guest of the day, Dr. B.L. Muralidhar, who took his valuable time out to address the participants in today's webinar. Thank you very much, sir. I wish to express my gratitude to our principal, Dr. B.R. Parinita, for her encouragement and support to conduct the webinar. I would like to thank our Vice Principal, Professor B.V. Sridhar Swami, sir, for his guidance that he has extended to make it a grand success. I extend my sincere thanks to our NAC coordinator, Professor C. Shalini, for her support. I am very grateful to the technical team for their constant effort to make this webinar happen. And last but not the least, I congratulate all the participants for their active participation throughout the webinar. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request all the participants to turn on your video feeds for photo session. Altaf, are we good to go for photo session?
Yes, Abhiram, we are.
Yeah.
So, as yesterday, we have 7 windows.
Yeah.
I will just take a few minutes to capture all of them. Window 1 is done.
Good.
Okay, on the window 2. On the window 3. Window 4. On the 5. On 6. Hold on for the last one. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Altaf. Now we are open for Q&A session. I request Dr. M.S. Vidya to unmute yourself and ask the question. Dr. M.S. Vidya.
Hello,
Yeah.
are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone. It was very nice session as usual. Then since 4 days is going on very great. I just wanted to know the government last month and 2 months before they just told us that the remote villages will be reached through Doordarshan or radio. What I mean, because as you've given us the picture about the rural areas, sir, what is your comment on that? Because they've assured us that even the remotest village will be reached through Doordarshan or radio. I just want to know, can you enlighten me about that?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. I think until unless we reach the rural areas, there is no meaning in online classes. For me, I think I cannot divide society, and then I cannot see a country in two directions, one for rich and one for poor. I cannot see that. But I think, yes, the government of India has taken that decision, and it's a very good decision because every government should do that. I think government of Karnataka also has their own Kannada channel. And I think when we come to agriculturist, we have also have certain programs which is aired only specifically for farmers. Likewise, the UGC also is using the Doordarshan, and many other channels are also using Doordarshan. But I think it's not a bad idea. It's a very good idea. We should reach to all our rural population, and every village should have a community center where they can have one identify the existing school itself, and then they can put one television channel, and for different classes they can air certain sessions.
Yeah, that's what sir, they are planning to do that. But as you said, so many households don't have TVs.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to say.
Radio also.
No,
So
government should, what I'm trying to say is that government should install their TV. It should be a community center.
community
Otherwise,
center.
without the community center, because I think every place has a government of India can do this through their post office, because every post office has this computer. Every post office has been computerized now. They should treat it as an asset. Now what they can convert their post office into their classroom. So it's not a big deal because every post office has an internet connectivity. And then there are some CSS centers. The government of India has been doing it from the past 20 years. They have the CSS centers in many of the villages. So they should convert all these CSS centers into a classroom, our community center, where people can come and then they can watch their classes at a certain time, and then they can handle their classes. And that should be done. And hopefully government will do it as quickly as possible, because I think next session should start now, because we have completed our present session. And schooling, I'm more worried about, forget about the post-graduation or undergraduate program. I'm more worried about the school education. School education is very
Yeah.
important. As it is, our gross enrollment ratio is so very low, and we cannot even finish that gross enrollment ratio from the rural side. You're right in raising that question, and hopefully government will hear all of us, and government will do it as early as possible.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Now I request our principal, Dr. B.R. Parinita ma'am, to ask her question. Ma'am, over to you.
It's just that I'm not asking a question. I'm just trying to make a point clear.
Yes.
Government, of course, earlier they have done through the DSCRT. At the same time, they also aired through the Gnanataranga EduSat lectures for government colleges. They have been doing every Friday and on Wednesday. That is an ongoing thing of the DCE. But this time, the government is suggesting that we may have to, the colleges individually may have to get connected with one of the channels and TV channels, and then conduct online classes. I'm really sure about the modalities as such. I think in due time, they may come out with the guidelines for that also. And according to the analysis and survey of the government of Karnataka, about 92% of the households, they have a television.
Right.
So that is the thing. They're trying to do that. I hope we all succeed, because it is in the interest of the student community at large,
Right.
that we have to reach out to them in one way or the other, because this is not going to end so soon. It may take many more months, and we teachers cannot become dysfunctional. We have to make our presence felt and relevant, so that the entire community remains literate. We can't allow 3 months or 6 months to go in vain. So I think the government is also thinking about it. And only one thing I felt, Mr. Muralidhar, the thing is, I wanted you to highlight to the teachers how they could, the technical aspect, it would have been good, how they could control the system so as to ensure that students who are unwanted and unidentified should not be let into the class, what they can do. And if they scribble something nonsense, they should be knowing the technical know-how to block them. That is as simple as that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
if
you're right,
that,
madam. But I think what you're quite right in saying, talking about those television things, and I think government is doing its best. And I think you're right in saying that the COVID is not going to end very soon. It is going to stay here for a long time. We should use our resources now properly, and we should make sure that every household or every child is not deprived of education. So that I'm totally with you in this aspect. But the thing is that how do we control this depends on the tool. Now, if you are using Zoom, different people have different
true,
tools. Right? Depends on what sort of tool you are using.
true,
I think what one can do is that in Zoom, you can mute everybody. As an administrator, you can mute everybody. As a
yes,
host, you can mute everybody. And as a host, you can only allow certain people to say. As a host, you
admit,
can actually admit only certain people. So these are some of the things I think we can definitely think of. But I think educating our people before we start using our teachers, before we start using this is the key thing. And I think what we need to do is that we should definitely make sure that our privacy is. Anybody can actually take a screenshot of me and then they can upload it into the screenshot. How do I
Correct.
stop that? How do I stop that? It's very
Yeah.
difficult. It's very difficult. As a male teacher, I can definitely tell you that it is more embarrassing for women. I think women teachers. I think it's very difficult. If somebody takes a screenshot and then uploads it. And I was very surprised that I was in a meeting with the vice chancellor and all the teachers were also there in that meeting. And then I was drinking some juice kind of thing, and somebody actually takes a screenshot and then sends in WhatsApp to me and then saying that have a nice drink. No, I'm just it's a joke apart. But what I'm trying to say is that anybody can take a snapshot. Anybody can actually do all these things. But these are the things I think has to be necessarily controlled by. It's difficult, not allowing people not to take a screenshot is very difficult. But I think the IT law, IT Act should be strictly implemented, and I think all of us should be given that power to actually the power of IT law, so that I can impose those IT laws on all the students, the community who actually get into this online classes. So a session on IT law and those things to students, not necessarily for teachers alone, for students is very important in my opinion. And I think all of us should learn IT Act and should actually discuss IT Act, and then we should know what IT Act has the provision if we actually somebody intrude into our privacy. So that I think definitely is a key thing. Rather than managing tool is one aspect, but educating the students on IT law and IT related act is very important, so that they don't do these cyber offenses.
Thank you so much.
Now I request Dr.
Any other question?
Yes, ma'am. There are 3 more questions.
Anybody
here.
else?
Yes, ma'am. I request Dr. KP Narayanappa sir to ask question.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್. ಸರ್ ಮುರಳೀಧರ್ ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ
ಸರ್, ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಳಕಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತವಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಆದಂತ ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸವಲತ್ತುಗಳ ಕೊರತೆ ಇದೆ, ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ತಾವು ಒಬ್ಬ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೋಷಕರಿಬ್ರು ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದನ್ನ ನೀವು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರಿ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ನಾನು ಹಿಂದೆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಟೀಚರ್ ಮರ ಹತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಟವರ್ ಹತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಟವರ್ ಹತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಈ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಅನಕ್ಷರಸ್ಥರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಂತಹ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸೂಕ್ತವಾದ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಅಂತ ಸೂಚಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತೀರಿ ಈ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ, ಇವತ್ತು ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಲುಪುವಂತ ಮಾರ್ಗ ಯಾವುದಂತ ಸೂಚಿಸ್ತೀರಿ ಸರ್ ತಾವು?
ಅದು ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನನ್ಗಂತೂ ಅನ್ಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನೇ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ BSNL ಫೋನ್ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ನನ್ ವೈಫೈ ಕೆಟ್ಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ್ದು ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಫೈಬರ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ವೈಫೈ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ನಾನೇ ಒಂದ್ 2-3 ಸಲ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ಇದು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ BSNL ಮೊಬೈಲ್ 3G ಇದೆ, ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಂದು ವೈಫೈ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ. ಹಳ್ಳಿದ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಗೋಲ್ ಅಂತೂ ಆಗೋಕ್ ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳನ್ನ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇ ಗವರ್ನೆನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ, NEGP ಅಂತ. NEGP ಅದನ್ನ ಇವಾಗ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳನ್ನ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ವೈಫೈ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ವೈಫೈ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಲೇ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಫಂಡ್ಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಡಿಲೇ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ನ 2015-16 ಇಂದನೂ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. 2015-16 ಇಂದ 2018 ವಾಸ್ ದ ಡೆಡ್ ಲೈನ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಲಗಳು ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಣಿತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 92% ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೆಲಿವಿಷನ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ನಮ್ದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರು, ಈ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಫೋನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಏನಿದೆ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ ಟೆಲಿವಿಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಈ ತರ ಒಂದೊಂದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ನಾವು ಹುಡುಕ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಎದುರಿಸಕ್ಕೆ, ಇದೊಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹಳ್ಳಿನಿಂದ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ನ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಗೋಲ್ ನ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಗೋಲ್. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಅವೈಲಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಆ ಅವೈಲಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ರೇಡಿಯೋನ ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ನಾನು FM ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಂಡ್ಯದವರೆಗೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೊರಟಗೆರೆವರೆಗೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ FM ಆ ತರದ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳು ಏನಿದೆ, ಆ ತರ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳನ್ನ, ಟಿವಿ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮನ ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಬರೀ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್, ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಫೋನ್, ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ನಾನೊಂದು ಕಮಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಸುಮಾರು 2,09,000 ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, 2,09,000 ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ನಾನು ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಇದ್ರು IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೀವು ವೈಫೈ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಫೈ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಂಟಿವೈರಸ್ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಎಡಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಅವತ್ತು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್. ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಆಗದಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಚೀನಾ ಜೊತೆ ಜಗಳ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಚೀನಾದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ಗಳು. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಚೀನಾದಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ತರ್ಸಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇರೋ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಟಿವಿ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮನ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಳಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಷ್ಟೇ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬಲ್ಲೆ, ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಲ್ಲೆ. ಇದು ಈಗ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂನು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಇದರ ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳನ್ನ, ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ನ ನಾವು ಹುಡುಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ನ ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಷ್ಟು ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I
thank you, sir.
Okay. Now I request Mumtaz Begum ma'am to actually unmute yourself and ask your question. Mumtaz ma'am, do you have your question? Mumtaz ma'am?
No, yes. I can't.
Okay. Thank you. So now I request Altaf to post certain questions which are asked in the chat box. Altaf?
Yeah, well, thank you, Abhiram. Yeah, thank you. I think we have a lot of questions. I have made a slide of them.
Okay.
So the first question for you would be this. How would you propose a generalized solution for the problems faced by these very distributed students in the midst of COVID-19?
Very difficult question to answer this. I think many of us don't know the solution. Many of us, the other day, one of my students was asking me, like, when will be the examination? Then I told him that if you and me are alive after a few months, probably we will conduct the examination. So the same thing, I think proposing a generalized solution because the society is multicultural. Our society is multi-religious, multicultural, multi-language society. And finding one solution is extremely difficult. So you need to find, as teachers, you need to find what is good for us. One of my students, when I was taking online classes, she is from Gulbarga, and then she says that in that hot sun, she has to be away from the house. She has to go to that some vacant area, and there she has to actually listen to the class. And then she was also saying that there is a power problem. So she told me that you don't take class for 1.5 hours because if you take classes for 1.5 hours, my mobile is not charged. So what I need
Yeah.
to do is that I need to charge my mobile. So then, for her sake, we had to change the class timing. So we said, "You please tell me when do you get power?" So depending upon our power, we reschedule the entire timetable, and then we had called a meeting of all the students. So proposing one model is extremely difficult. But
Taken.
what we are trying to do, what we are missing in all this scenario is that we sitting in a AC room, we sitting in a boardroom are deciding for stakeholders. I'm very surprised that governments have not taken the stakeholders into this loop. Probably, I think stakeholders should be asked, what do you want? What is your suggestion? And then I think stakeholders should be given a chance to air their suggestion. And I think depending upon the stakeholders' feelings, we should actually act. That's my only solution. But there are many solutions, and it depends on individual cases. So it should be a hybrid solution. It cannot be a simple thumb rule solution.
Yes. Yes. Taken, sir. Thank you. The next question is online education through electronic channels, will they not be more beneficial?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I think I'm telling that I'm one of the beneficiaries. If I want to learn some such things about the latest technology, where do I go? I just go to YouTube. I just go and attend somebody else's classroom, or I just go and then attend the government of India's initiatives for online education. So definitely, online education is the future. But what I'm trying to say is that it is not a replacement. It can only be an add-on. It can only be an add-on. I don't. I mean, because what happened to our culture? We were so proud of our culture, where we say that Guru Shishya culture. We were saying that we will teach them like the olden age, where we have Gurukula, and then we will teach them like a Gurukula system. What happened to that? I think it should be a more human to human connection because it's a complex scenario. I was talking to one of my guest faculty, and then that guest faculty was talking to all the students on the psychological problems related to the COVID. I think many students are really worried, and then they think that they'll die tomorrow. So there is also a psychological issue in all these things. So then she calls students, and then she talks to them, and then she calls for a one-to-one call, and then she talks to them. So what I'm trying to say in this whole scenario is that online is definitely a very, very good thing. I actually say that it's a very good thing because I was not a very good cook, and recently I've learned cooking through some online classes. I can cook for myself now, not because of anything else. That's because of online classes. But there was also my wife with me to teach that. I learned few things. An online class could never be a substitute. It can only be an add-on. That's what I'm trying to say.
Fine.
Yeah. The next question is quite interesting. Dear sir, after Jio, Airtel has started its video conferencing Blue Jeans. Do you think the future of telecom industry will be with a package of licensed video conferencing? The second question is, as of now, binge watching is inclusive of this package. Do you think that future workspace is virtual?
And I think this very difficult to understand this big people. I
Yeah.
think I was very surprised by Facebook taking over WhatsApp. You didn't know why they're taking over WhatsApp. And they bought the WhatsApp. And then Facebook invested in Geo. We didn't know what is that for. Basically, they were saying that for digital marketing and for digital transaction. That's what Facebook said. And then now Google is actually investing in Geo. That is an interesting thing. And I think the answer they are giving is that we want to. I mean, when did that happen? That happens after Google has a video conferencing with the Prime Minister the next day. And then Google says that we are investing so many billions of rupees in the Indian market, basically for digital transaction. And then all of a sudden they're actually investing it in Geo money. They're investing they're taking 17% of their share. So interesting things. Now Facebook, WhatsApp is also investing in Geo, and then Google is also investing it in Geo. Definitely, I think there's something which is beyond our knowledge at this point in time, or maybe I think all of us know the reason why they have invested. You know, it's for much good. But I think the other thing is that the big fishes will always kill the small fishes.
Yeah,
it's a worrying factor now because I think the big bazaar kind of a things they've killed the retail sellers, the small retail sellers. I used to get this 7 o'clock blade which was there for 1 or 2 rupees, and now I think if you go and then ask for Gillette, and then they'll say cartridge 200 rupees for two Gillette cartridges. So Gillette has actually bought 7 o'clock and then they finished 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Storing Torino, Limca, and many other things, and Thumbs Up, and many other things. So these big fishes will actually definitely eat all the small fishes, and that's a worrying factor.
Yeah. Good one, sir. And there is always a bigger fish.
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish.
So that brings us to our next question. My question to the speaker is, with the association of IT company and Bangalore University, can universities have their own cloud and use blockchain technology?
Definitely, I think. But universities need not have their own clouds. You know, I think it's a lot of maintenance. You know, when the clouds are available for very low prices, why should the university invest in these clouds? And Google had promised, in fact, to have their own cloud in India. That's because I think IT Act as a clear thing. IT Act says that IT Act is applicable for all those systems which are inside the geography of India. But if you look at any of those servers, Google is in America, and Facebook is in America, WhatsApp is server is in America, so it becomes a headache. But they are all promised that they will bring their clouds within the geography of India. But it's a lot of maintenance, a lot of expense, and I don't think we need to actually use fund to actually build our own cloud. It's already available. It's a lot of expense. It's already maintenance is an expense thing. You need to have a power backup. You need to have backup power. You need to have cooling system. You need to have water electricity system. You need to have mirroring system and so on and so forth. So that's not a good idea. Bangalore University cannot manage, or many of the universities cannot manage our own cloud. So let's give it to the industry. Let them manage their cloud, but we will use it. But blockchain is definitely a future thing, and I think we will definitely use blockchain. We are already using in many of our research work, and definitely we will use it in future as well.
Right. Thank you. So the next question is from Mr. Hemant. How long do you think we in Karnataka can reach what Kerala did in reaching masses in education?
It's a question which you need to ask political bosses, and I think I'll ask you another question, and I'll ask you a question saying that how long we take to make Karnataka 100% literate state. And if you can answer me that, I'll answer this question. I think Kerala has become a 100% literate state long ago, but where are we now? We're still around 72%. So our intention should be to make everyone literate, and then definitely I think maybe we will be a little closer to Kerala. But I think they're well ahead of many of the states. Their education system is much more powerful. Their health system is also very, very good. One of my relatives is in Kerala, and then she says that she was also working for government of Kerala. I forget the name of that institute, and then it's basically for women empowerment. And then she says that the the number of people who are born in the houses in Kerala is zero. Nobody is born in Kerala. I mean, in their houses. Everybody is born in the hospital. You go and then see how many people are born in the houses in Karnataka. Many, many. My own relatives are born in their own houses. But when it comes to health and education, Kerala is much better state than us. And I think we should do a catch-up act, and probably it will take a few more years. But that the responsibility is on us also. We should also. I don't know where all those big things have gone. I used to hear, when I was living in for some years, when I used to go for my vacation, there was a massive program on adult literacy. Where is that adult literacy now? Nobody talks about adult literacy now, because I think my own aunt used to teach the villagers who are adults. She used to make them literate, but that program is dead. Where are such programs? Because education is not just educating these children. When it comes to ICT, it's the older generation. The gray digital divide is more important. We need to actually teach the older generation people. We need to teach ICT for people who are middle-aged and who do not know the technology per se. And I think we need to do some serious act. COVID has definitely taught us a lesson. COVID has taught us, and it says that it really makes mockery of our society. It says that, look, we are still a backward society. We have shown that we are backward when it comes to health and education. It's a difficult question, Hemant, but anyway, I think I try to make some sense out of my own experience, but it's difficult to answer that question.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Rajeshwari R. Sir, what is your opinion on, instead of having 2 language papers for first and second year degree students, having 1 language and concentrating on core subjects?
I think I'll just go with 2 languages. I mean, I was talking to you about the Chinese delegate, which came 40 people. 38 people did not know English. 38 people did not know English. I think why leave? You look at what H. Narasimhaya sir says. H. Narasimhaya says that our culture depends on our language. There is a correlation between the culture and the language. And if you want to actually take your culture forward, you should also take your language forward. There's nothing wrong in learning the local language. I'm not saying that learn Kannada. I'm saying that if you're a Tamilian, learn Tamil properly. If you are a Malayali, learn Malayalam properly. And I think regional languages will have its own thing. I'll ask you one other question. I just want to ask you, what is the percentage of people? I mean, you can ask me this question, or anybody can answer this question. What is the percentage of people who can speak English in India? What is the percentage? Just take a wild guess. How many people in India can read and write English?
Maybe 10%.
Huh?
Maybe 10%.
Yeah, you're very close. You're very close, sir. It's 12%. Only 12%, 12.5% of Indians can read and write English. And English is an alien language. English is not our culture. Kannada is our culture. Or any other regional languages are our culture. Maybe I think Tamil is also our culture. Malayalam is our culture. Telugu is our culture. So is Kannada. Kannada is our culture. Let us actually do that. Why I'm saying is that near future, I'll tell you why. Why computer scientists should learn Kannada, our regional language. I'm very particular that all the computer science students should learn Kannada, our regional language. Why? Because an illiterate goes near chaos in a railway station, and then he says, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಟ್ರೈನು ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? If you ask that question, the kiosk should answer that question. ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋ 7256 ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ 4ಕ್ಕೆ 4 ಗಂಟೆ 20 ನಿಮಿಷಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. That's what. And who has to do this? Language people will not do it. A computer scientist who has the language power should be able to do this. And he should do the language processing. He should do the speech processing. So that's what I'm very, very particular that I will never remove any of the regional language as long as I'm the vice chairman or as long as I teach computer science in Bangalore University.
Good one, sir.
Yeah.
That will move to next question from Chandana Harsha. Sir, can homeschooling and unschooling be better for children of present generation?
Difficult question again. I don't know why you are posing very difficult questions to me, which I cannot answer in yes or no fashion. I think it cannot be binary anyway. I think society is not binary.
Yeah.
Society is not binary anymore. There's a very degrees of learning. I think even in your own class, not everybody is same. Not everybody is same in your own class. Different people have different learning capabilities, and then you have to look at them. This is our responsibility as the teachers. We should be able to understand. We should be very, very attentive to our students' interest. Forget about the business part. I know that education has become a business, but I think we also have, as teachers, have our own responsibilities towards our society and towards our children. Giving any binary answers to all these things is very, very difficult because it has to be closely associated with child psychology. I think child psychology plays an important role in this. And then yes or no kind of an answer is very difficult to answer, Chandra.
Yes.
It's very difficult.
Taken. The next question is from Ms. Rakshita Parthasarathi. She says, sir, like you said, it's very demeaning and it's very obvious to get demotivated when students bully a teacher. What's your tip or message to all of us to keep it going?
Look, don't think that there are teachers, there are students. I think these are some of the rogues who come and then do this. And the rogues can never be stopped. But what we can do is that I think if it really goes out of hand, one should, my only tip is that I think I know that in a seminar I had a very bad experience, and I think you should seriously tell them that you will file a case because you will file a case using the IT Act, and then you should know that you can actually you can penalize those people who actually do some such act. Bullying is a very serious offense, and if you are a woman, I think you should also look into IPC sections, and then you should threaten them. If students don't understand, I think that's the only way. I think what is wrong in actually saying or threatening them, saying that we will file a case against you? And I think it's very much in our right, because one student will spoil the entire class. We don't want that one idiot to come and then spoil the class for 40 other people. 40 other people would have come to our classes with a lot of interest and a lot of interest in learning, but one student comes here and then bullies us and then creates nonsense for us. And I think such people should be penalized, and I think there should not be any second thought at all. I think initially you should request them. I request, because it doesn't happen in post-graduation courses, and we are lucky because postgraduate students are a little more mature, and then they don't do such things. But I understand that the school students, especially my daughter's age, and then some of the few college students, they're notorious. It's my dream to go and then take a class for PUC students, because they'll be flying in the air out of the school, and then it's fascinating to teach them. But I think you can request them initially. You can invoke the IT Acts, and then you can say that these are the acts, these are the provisions of the act. These can be imposed, and then if they don't do it, my sincere suggestion would be to file a case, and then tell the students that I have already filed a case.
That was a good, indeed, much required and strong suggestion from your side. Thank you. The next question is from KM Raghavendra. He says, first of all, I must thank you, sir, for a reality check. Yes, the role of government is huge. Your suggestion that as teachers, we must reach out to the underprivileged society, underprivileged section is in enabling them to come to terms with technology. On a small scale, can colleges adopt a village or slum and do this? That is, teach children and women particularly about use of common devices. Your comment on observation on this.
Please share your number with me. I require such people. I think I wrote a letter to my vice chancellor long ago because I think UGC says that every university should adopt some villages. I think I have this dream of spreading digital literacy. I think it's very good. I think we have our students with us. They are our strength. I think I asked my students to come. We will go and then we will adopt a village and then we will go and then teach near our vicinity. So we will go and then teach them the basics of technology, basics of literacy. Maybe I think we will go and then teach them Kannada. We will go and teach them computers and so on and so forth. It's a wonderful thing. I've already written to my vice chancellor and I've sought his permission so that second and fourth Saturday is holiday for us, and we are really planning to do this. And I think if all of us get together as teachers, and I think forget about our salary and other things. We don't, because we are paid on second Saturday and fourth Saturday also. There's nothing wrong in going to a village and then teaching them. That's more important. What we are more interested in is that we are talking in air. We say that artificial intelligence will come and then take over. Everything will become magnificent using artificial intelligence. We have become such idiots to actually say such things. But I think we should understand the ground reality. What is that we need to do for the ground? I think please share your number. I have my own suggestion. You can actually do it on your own. I'm trying to do it on my own. I think if some of us teachers like us can get together, you do it independently, I'll do it independently, and then we can cooperate and then we can try to see that on a larger scale, we are doing this. I think this is a very good idea, Mr. Raghavendra. I think please go ahead and then do it. Students are your strength, and then you can definitely do it. Then take my number from BVS, sir. I think you can take my number from BVS, and we can be definitely in touch, and then we can do something. It's a very good idea.
I completely second you, sir. It's a great initiative, and I see Mr. Raghavendran has already shared his number on chat. I'll forward it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question is from Dr. Sushila. Sir, you have touched the reality of today's problem facing in the digital world. My question is, why can't we have translation of English to different languages, as it is easy to understand for people who come from heterogeneous background?
There's a lot of Mrs. Sushila, a lot of work has already, Dr. Sushila, a lot of work has already been done in this area. You just go see the Google Translate today. Some 4 years ago, it was very bad because I've been watching Google Translator from quite a few years. That's also my interest also, because it's a very good thing. Now Google has come up with a very good translator, and I think it's a very good initiative. Uh, they're using their artificial intelligence technology, neural network technology, and then they have come up with a very good translation. Definitely, it can be done, and maybe I think in another few years' time, we should be able to see a very good translation. And then University of Hyderabad, Professor K.N. Narayanamurthy has also done a very good work. And then he has also showed that in his presentations some year ago. And if you give a novel, Kannada novel, it translates the entire Kannada novel to English. That is actually, it has been done. And an English to Kannada translation is also being done. So definitely, you're right, Dr. Sushila. It will definitely help a heterogeneous group. I think we should never ever demean our local language. Local language should be our strength. I think that's why I'm saying that we should learn from Chinese. We should make our local language very, very strong, so that that every society, every person in the society is on the board with us in ICT initiative. So I'm with you, Dr. Sushil. Our local language will be the future.
That's very well said, sir.
Vocal for
The
local.
language, it's our strength and not a barrier. Okay.
Yeah.
With that, we'll go to our next question from Girisha R from Government First Aid College, Ankola. How to build the confidence among rural students to adopt online teaching during COVID situations? I think that's a good question.
I think we should speak to them. I think there is always a psychological barrier. I mean, I'm telling this. My father is living in Bangalore for the past more than 50 years. He studied here in Bangalore, and from then onwards, he's in this state. He doesn't know to forward the WhatsApp message. He's an educated person. He's a master graduate, MA political science. He doesn't know how to forward a message in WhatsApp. I think he struggles. He can't use the laptops. He doesn't know the thing in laptop. Basically, because that is a psychological barrier. There is a psychological barrier, and I'm sure that the same psychological barrier is also there with many of our students uh, who are in rural areas. But I think we should break those psychological barrier. We should we should give them the confidence that look, it's nothing great. I give my I mean, you look at any of these urban students these days. When they are 4 years old, they're able to manage the laptop. I mean, laptop as well as mobile phone. If I get some doubts about my mobile, and if I don't find something in my mobile, like first I do is that I go and give it to my daughter and then ask her, please help me in solving this problem. They are fearless. They know how to experiment. They don't worry if a student, I mean, if a phone cocks off. That fear is not there. I'm sure that if we give the same confidence to my rural students, I give them the mobile and then give them the laptop, do whatever you want to do with this laptop. And then tell them that, look, nothing will happen to this until unless you physically break it, nothing will happen. I think to any of those instruments. So if you give them that confidence that, look, you can also be on the board. And then if you are not there now, you will never be there. That kind of a confidence, and if you can give it to students, I think definitely they will get into this. It will not take much time for any one of them to learn if we actually give them a bit of confidence, and we should trust them. That's the whole thing. Then if we trust them, they will definitely trust the technology, and then they'll definitely do that. But I think this is a psychological battle, and this is nothing to do with education. It's basically a psychological barrier, and then we need to break that barrier. Once we break that barrier, I think you can definitely do it. There are empty number of things which we can do it when it comes to this. I think they'll definitely do well.
Perfect. So that's all from my side. I had gathered only so many questions.
That's good.
Yeah,
There is
I pass it over
one,
to Abhiram.
yeah, there is only one question, sir, from chat box, again from Professor Hemant Yu. He's asking, is Bangalore University planning to award some credits obtained through online or learning courses?
I think everything is being treated now as credit only, because I think certificates are given for this workshop, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is certificated.
Now the question is that, is it valid?
Yes, sir. It is valid.
It is valid.
Yeah.
It is valid. Any online any sort of online education, Hemant is given its due credit. And I think we are given salary because of our online education. That's a credit. And students are been given attendance if they attend online classes. That's a credit. If I'm saying that any add-on courses, if you attend, and then if you want that credit to be transferred to any of these semester kind of framework, and that is may not be possible at this point in time. You may not be able to transfer your credits, which is an add-on course to it. But of course, this add-on course is again will be there with you, and then that will be a credit for you. So all the credits which are possible offline are also possible in online, and I don't think there will be any problem because UGC itself has given that guideline. Who are we to say no to that? UGC has said that you can conduct the PhD Viva through online, so that's a credit. You can conduct classes through online by giving attendance. You can conduct seminars, conferences. UGC is saying that you conduct seminars. UGC is saying that you conduct conferences. So that all the credits which has been already given by UGC, we will only implement that, and Bangalore University will definitely do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for answering all the queries. Hope we have answered all the queries of the participants. I think we can close today's session.
Right.
Tomorrow, and I have a few instructions for participants. Dear participants, tomorrow, firstly, I request you to fill the feedback form by 9 p.m. today. It will be sent shortly to your email IDs. And tomorrow we have advanced the schedule for 11:15 a.m. So I request all the participants to join the Zoom meeting room at 11 a.m. That would be ideal for us to avoid technical glitches. I think we are good to close today's meeting room. Is there anything else to share, sir?
Yeah, we can close it. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, everyone stay home, stay safe. Let us battle this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It was pleasure listening to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I shall end the meeting for all. Thanks.
Thank you, Altaf.
Thank you. You're welcome.